How is everyone doing today? I hope amazing, okay? I really do. Truly, I hope amazing. Hello. For those of you who are new here, my name's Cheyenne. Nice to meet you. Hello. Thank you for joining us today for another true crime video. Yes, here we go. Okay. Has it been a while? Yes. But you know, she is what it is. I've just been out here living my best life. Hopefully everyone else has been doing that. Yes. I think I've had a few subscribers along the way, so thank you guys for holding on. Thank you for sticking with us. So today we are going to be covering the case of Molly Watson, and this video was actually going to get to you guys a few weeks ago, okay, because I've already filmed it, but I just didn't like the way that I filmed it, and I don't really think that I delved into Molly enough, so we're gonna redo it. Hopefully it's better today. Yeah, I guess that's that, okay? I'm just gonna start. Warning. If you are a sensitive person, somebody that doesn't like murder or true crime or talking about true crime cases, this probably isn't the video for you. So I would recommend maybe just moseying on over, moving on. Maybe find something nice and happy to view, but this video probably won't be it for you. So that's that. So we are talking about Molly Watson today. So for those who don't know, Molly Watson was born in Moberly, Missouri in December of 1982. And so I've watched a lot of videos on this case. As I do, you know, I like to do research, so I watch videos, and the one thing that everyone always said about Molly is that she was a super intelligent, like very kind, just caring person. And Molly also had a YouTube channel.
Hi everybody, it's Molly, and today I am just kind of doing a general vlog. I don't really have a point to this, except I do want to update on the video game fitness challenge. I had to replace my Wii Fit meter with a new one because I lost it. I have no idea where it went. I don't know if it fell off when I went on a Pokemon Go walk or what happened. But so far today, my steps are 5,033. I am 34. I work in education right now. I have 2 degrees in psychology, a bachelor's and a master's. I'm working on a third degree, second master's in counseling. And I am very much a huge geek. I hate being called a nerd, because, as I have always heard it put, nerds know, geeks do. So I'll catch you guys later, and bye!
Where she would do videos just about her likes, interests, her life. She would sing songs, and through watching her videos, she just always came off as such a sweet, kind, just gentle person. Molly also, during her time on YouTube, got into nail polish and kind of the nail side of YouTube, where she started making nail polish related videos. And she also ended up starting her own nail polish brand, which from what I could tell was really starting to hit it off. It was a very affordable kind of nail polish brand that people could use. And it just seemed like during this time, Molly was on the rise to just really start going places. She just really seemed like a very successful, very driven person. Molly, like I said too, was also a very intelligent person. She was very educated, and when she was 35, was working at the Bureau Behavioral Center in Moberly. I think a lot of her background was more to do with people and psychology and those kinds of things, so she was working a lot with people in these centers. And Molly actually met her current fiance while she was working at a correctional facility. He was a lieutenant or a correctional officer or something, and they met while they were working, and so she had been with this individual for 7 years, and they ended up getting engaged, and it was a very exciting time in her life. And Molly was married before. She ended up having a son, Declan, from that relationship. But they divorced, and then I think a little bit after that she'd had a relationship with a woman for a bit, and then after that ended is when she met James Addy at the correctional facility. And like I said, this was a very exciting time in Molly's life. She'd been with this man for 7 years. She was super excited to get married. It was 2 or 3 wedding dresses that she had bought. There's videos that you can find where she's doing reviews of her dress on YouTube. Everything just really seemed to be falling into place. And then on April 26th, or I think somewhere around that time, I might not have the exact date right actually, Molly and her fiance went down to the courthouse and they got their marriage license and everything all figured out, because it was actually that week that they were going to be getting married. And it was all very exciting. You can see Molly's like super excited and bubbly and happy. I mean, the girl was getting married, so I don't blame her, you know, it's an exciting time. Unfortunately though, just a couple days later, Molly's body was found in a ditch. So Molly was found by Glenn McSparran, and he had actually been driving to and from his mother's house that night. He had been looking for kind of a shortcut in all these back roads. So when he was heading to his mother's house, he had taken the same road, and he had noticed like suspicious activity, I guess, because he had ended up pulling over. There were these two cars just pulled over on the ditch of this old dirt road. And typically, I guess not many people take this road. It is like just a very isolated spot. So we pulled over to see if maybe they like had popped a tire or needed anything. And the guy that was over in the ditch said no, they were fine. Like he was probably going to be there for a while and really didn't need any help. Which Glenn, I think, thought was maybe a little strange, but he just kind of kept on moving on and went to his mom's house. And then when he was driving back, James noticed that instead of two cars, there was just one vehicle still just on the side of the road. And that is when he noticed Molly just kind of lying there on the ground.
There's a lady laying in front of a car. I don't know if she's alive, dead, or what. They wanted me to just make sure if she was alive or not. You check on her and give me an update. That'd be greatly appreciated. Finally, they got me out of the truck, and I grabbed my handgun and walked through the water, and I just kept on the phone with them. Ma'am. Ma'am. Oh, my God. I don't think she's alive, no. Eyes are open. I swear to God, she's dead.
So police obviously arrive on scene, as they do. And at first, you know, they arrive and they look at Molly, and it honestly looks like she was just beaten very badly, like there was some significant blunt force trauma going on. But after closer investigation, police actually noticed that she was shot execution style in the back of her head. So obviously some of the next steps are to notify next of kin. A few days before is when Molly had went and registered to get married with her fiance James. So police find James's address in their police system or whatever they do, and they go to his home. Obviously they need to tell him that his fiance is dead. And that is when they learn some very interesting information. They go to his house and it turns out that James is actually married. He's been married for like 20 years. So they go to the house to tell him, and he doesn't seem that upset. He said that his reaction was just completely different from anything that they were expecting. He didn't seem that upset at all. He didn't really seem like he cared that much. And he also had a wife, so that put him obviously on the top of police's suspect list. And that is when their investigation started against James Addy. James also had a daughter with his wife, and so police start doing their investigation and start interviewing the people in James's life. Obviously, they interview his wife, who was shocked, first of all, that he has a girlfriend for 7 years as well. She had no idea this whole time that her husband was in another relationship. And you know, the thing is it really wasn't looking good for James, like from the beginning, okay? So where Molly's body was found was in this marshy area. So police were able to take pretty much perfect tire impressions of the suspect's vehicle or tires. There was also a shirt found near the crime scene. Obviously, James Addy was charged with Molly's murder pretty quickly when everything came to light. Glenn, the individual that found Molly and ended up calling 911, he gave a description of the car that he saw when he was going to his mom's house, and the description was very close to James Addy's car. Also, the tire impression they took matched James's tire perfectly, and the shirt that they found, unfortunately for James, ended up being a very specific shirt. It was a t-shirt that his daughter had made for school. It was like this art assignment that she had. So she made these t-shirts, and she remembered giving one to her dad. And unfortunately, she ended up having to testify in court about it. There's nothing really James could say. Like, it's not like this was just some kind of white, random, like generic t-shirt, you know, like this was a specific t-shirt that his daughter printed and gave to him. And it was found at the crime scene. Things are just like really not looking good for him. And the whole time too, during the trial, like James at first acted like he didn't really care, and then near the end, I don't know if he was just trying to like switch up his tactics, but he started talking about how Molly was the love of his life and he loved her so much, and denied everything. I think even to this day denies doing anything. I don't think he's ever taken ownership for his actions, which is crazy because he was found guilty. I guess I should get to that. He was found guilty of Molly's murder. You know, all of the evidence just pointed in his direction. There really wasn't much to contend with. So in 2021 is when he stood trial, and that's when he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. From what it seems after watching the trial footage is I think Molly was starting to question things. There's some messages that you can find where she's asking James, like, are you sure you still want to marry me? And there were some theories that I saw where people thought that maybe she had found out about his wife. Because I guess I forgot to say, James had like told Molly a few months before she had died that his wife Melanie was in fact dead, which obviously wasn't the case. She was alive. So some people's theories were that maybe Molly had started to find out about all of James's lies, and he got to a point where he felt like he needed to decide what to do, and instead of just leaving one of the women, he thought he would kill them, because that's what I guess misogynistic men do. I don't fucking know. Like, it just happened. It happens a lot, okay? Especially when you look at the crimes like the Chris Watts, like the family killer cases where they find this mistress and then they're like, oh, I have to kill my girl. Like, just break up with them. Like, if your first thought is like to get out of a situation is murder, like you need to go to a therapist. I don't know who else needs to hear that. Like if you're in a relationship right now and you're like, oh, to get out of this relationship, I need to kill my partner, you need to go to therapy. That's what you need to do, okay? You need to take those thoughts and you need to take them to your therapist, because it's just like not how pieces should be put together. It's just not right. Yeah. And so that's that. There was a lot to this case. There's a lot that I left out just to keep it short, okay? It's a lot. Molly, again, seemed like a very kind, very caring person, and it's too bad that she got mixed up with James Addy, truly. She really would have went far, you know? And that's that. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had a lovely time hanging out with me. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be here again next week, okay? I will be here again next week. So thank you so much, okay, for joining me on this journey. It's been a blast, okay? I guess that's it. That's all I have for you. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, a wonderful wherever the hell you are, and I will see you all later. Okie doke. Goodbye.